Welcome to sportsbookraeview.com. I'm Flash, and this is your home for KBO, and I mean your home for KBO and NPB baseball at South Korea and Japan. Jay went 4-0 yesterday. He went 3-0 the day before that, 7-0, and I am good with my maths. Now, if you like this video now, why wouldn't you? Then please press the button, ring the bell. That means you're going to subscribe, and then that means that we can notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And also, if you press the link in the description, you can go over and have a little read of Jay's articles. Not just Jay's articles over there, there's other sports from other writers, and there's plenty of information, and there's parlay galore going on at SBR Sports. We've just got a 6-match parlay with our soccer, but Jay has to go one better, and he does 7-0 in 2 days. Jay, congratulations. I didn't think it was ever in doubt because you had my Bears in there.
Yeah, of course. I think these were the two games that I was just really confident in going into this morning. Both went out to big leads and had no split winners in that parlay, which is always really fun. A lot of sweating in NPB, but no sweating in KBO. Unless you're on the Samsung over game, we got 2 runs in the 9th inning to make the over 9.5, which was really fun as well. So, yeah, we got the sweep in the KBO, and that was a lot of fun.
There was a little clue in yesterday's show, twice. Double dipping. I mean, listen, we haven't heard that all season. Normally it's fun. This is interesting. Bad beats. But double dipping made an appearance, and boy, did it come home and put plenty cash in people's pockets. There's so many in there. Daniel in the chat said that he went 5-0 and he did a parlay. Everyone seems to be happy. Mason Phelps, who's obviously Michael Phelps' brother, because that's where I get me swimming from, he went another sweep. Now, just remind you at home, you are our second guest, so we need you to be getting in that chat. Get your leans. Who did you leave out yesterday to make sure that you got your parlay? Jay, let's kick straight off. Let's not mess about. Let's go KBO. Let's try and make it 3 days in a row. No pressure on you. It's game 2 of 3, and we're going to start with the Wyverns and the Eagles. I don't even like speaking after an Eagles victory.
Yeah, Eagles got the 6-5 win, hung on to get that one. I don't think it's going to happen again this time around. Chad Bell is actually injured, won't make this start for the Eagles. So instead, they got Kim Jin-wook on the mound. It'll be his first start of the season. Played in the minors, had over a 5 ERA in the minors this season. Only had 1 start in his career in the KBO with Hanwha. 20-year-old guy, 9.58 FIP in those 4 appearances. Then you have Park Jung-hoon on the mound for SK. A 5.37 ERA, but a 3.97 FIP. Jung-hoon is a high strikeout guy, and he's allowed just 10 earned runs in his 5 road starts on the season. At 27.2 innings pitched, just 10 earned runs in 5 road starts. So my official play on this one, I said I wouldn't make an official play, but I am. SK at -135 against the Hanwha Eagles. I'd also lean towards over 9.5 in this matchup.
Okay, we'll go with a lean, but obviously a -135 for a first official gets the start. Let's move on. The Dinos against the Twins.
Yeah, it was a great game this morning. Again, the LG Twins really struggling against the better pitching in the league. But now they go up against Mike Wright, who's had his different. He hasn't been nearly as good as the other import pitchers. Been a little erratic throughout the entire season. A 3.63 ERA. But a 4.74 FIP. And we've seen him get out of damage a lot of times throughout the season. Somehow have been able to leave runners on base here and there. But the Twins are starting to get some guys back. They just got their third baseman who's back from injury. He played in his first game this morning in the season. One of their better hitters. He's back in the lineup, and the LG Twins are starting to get some bats that are more healthy in this lineup. So, yeah, I like LG at +140 as a lean. I think with Lin Min Ho on the mound for LG, he's at a 1.62 ERA and a 3.85 FIP. Lee Min Ho is probably one of the better young pitchers in the league. He's been dominating throughout the entire season. Not one start where he's allowed more than 2 runs on the season. I like the LG Twins here at +140. It's a lean, of course, but if you want that big underdog play, the LG Twins at +140 seem like a really good value play there. I'd also lean towards under 9.5 in this matchup with 2 solid pitchers on the mound.
JB, if you like the Twins at +140, what's their team total going to be? Is it going to be as low as 3.5, and you could go over that?
I believe it's 4.5. If you do see it at 3.5, of course I would go for it. I'd even look at even 4.5. Yeah, I would agree. There's potential there. Of course, Mike Wright he's not very consistent throughout the season, but what he's been able to do is get out of trouble and get out of damage when it's needed the most. At some point, it's going to change, but, we'll see.
Okay, just give me a little bit of homework from yesterday. I know that you said there was an over total at 9.5, but by sort of 8:30 Eastern time yesterday, it had risen to 11.5. What game was that?
That was the Samsung game.
And what did the Samsung game finish?
It finished, I think, with 11 runs.
And what did I suggest?
To go in between.
Thank you.
It would have been perfect.
I rest my case. I do love a middle. Anyone who watches me on the NCAA throughout the year, if you've got a chance of going over 9.5 or under 11.5, do them both. You won't lose, and you could win double. There you go, Jay. A little lesson learned, but I did see that you did advise people that it was a possibility. So someone out there would have been mad enough to do it. Now, the Heroes and the Tigers, Jay.
That game this morning was literally crazy. I said this game would go under. The game went completely over. 17 runs in that game. Back and forth battle. Extra inning game. Lots of fun. But we were on Kiwoom as the lean. It was actually Kia with the victory. But the funny thing is, in that game this morning, Kiwoom started off as underdogs, and they finished the day as favorites before the game began, which was really interesting. Again, Kia got the win. For this one, I'd lean towards Kia at -157. Aaron Brooks on the mound has a 2.36 ERA and a 2.83 FIP, a 1.08 WHIP. One of the better pitchers in the league by far. But with the way that Kiwoom is hitting, it's a little risky for me to take either side on this one. Lee Seung-ho on the mound for Kiwoom. Seung-ho was absolutely brutal in his last outing, but that was against KT. His number, the KT's had his number in those 2 games that they faced him. Other than KT, hasn't been nearly as bad. So, yeah, this one's a little shaky for me. I'm going to lean towards Kia at -155, -160 range. I'd also even recommend over for Kia at 4.5. Lee Seung-ho coming off a really bad performance, and if both offenses have been really red hot as of late, I'd side with Kia's offense at 4.5 against Lee Seung-ho over Kiwoom's offense against Aaron Brooks. So yeah, I like Kia as a lean, over 4.5 for Kia, and then over 9 for the game. But these are all leans, and this one is the game that I'm definitely staying away from.
Yeah, but you've got enough leans there. So that will obviously give somebody somewhere a little bit of meat on the bone. There's no lean in my next game. I don't want to hear lean because it's my Bears versus the Giants. Bears -1.5.
Yeah, you got your wish, but it's not going to be -1.5. It's going to be over 11.5. A very high number, but over 11.5 as an official play. I'd also lean towards Doosan at -190 or even -1.5, like you had said. Yoo-Hoo Kwan's on the mound for Doosan, has a 4.87 ERA and a 4.94 FIP. And then Park Si-woon for Lati, a 5.71 ERA and a 5.58 FIP. And we always talk about how great Doosan's offense is on the road. Again, they showed it this morning. They scored double-digit runs and easily covered for us in that game this morning. Si-woon, he's now allowed a homer in 7 straight games for Lati. 3 of those 7 games have been multi-homer games where he's allowed 2 home runs in 3 of those games. So he's been hit with a lot of power, and Doosan has a lot of power, especially on this offense on the road. But Hugh Kwan, he's struggled on the road this season, the pitcher for Doosan. He's allowed now 17 runs and 16 earned runs in 15.1 innings on the road. That's why I love the over 11.5 in this matchup. I feel like both pitchers are going to struggle in their respective situations. Doosan's been really good offensively. Lati's they've done enough to score runs. They've shown that they can do enough. And again, Hugh Kwan allowed 17 runs in 15.1 innings on the road and 16 earned runs in 15.1 innings. That's more than a run per inning on the road in his last 4 games. So I'll have the over 11.5 as an official play at -115.
Okay, Jay. Well, Casey Mashinsky says, would you take Doosan over 12?
I mean, probably. I think it will go over. Obviously, do your homework. Look, we are SBR, like you said, Sportsbook Review. Definitely find the right book. There will definitely be books that have over 11.5. So definitely shop around before you take that 12 and just, I would get the 11.5 because there's plenty of books that have 11.5.
And also, obviously, I'll just always chuck in the Bears -1.5. Now the bottom game in the KBO is the Lions versus the Wiz. flip that coin, it could fall heads, tails, and knowing our luck, it'd sit right in the middle and get stuck in the mud.
Yeah, but I was surprised. The Lions are actually, major underdogs. Not major underdogs, but they're plus value, plus 102. I was surprised at this because Choi Chae-hung on the mound for Samsung in this game. He has a 3.08 ERA and a 4.81 FIP, going up against So-Hyung Jun of KT, who has a 6.65 ERA and a 5.31 FIP. I'm on Samsung as an official play at plus 102. Again, we know that they've been really good as underdogs throughout the entire season. They've been a really good road team throughout the entire season, and they've covered throughout the entire season. So if you're afraid to just take Samsung at plus 102, you can look at plus 1.5 at probably around minus 130, minus 140 in that range. Definitely fine if you want to go that way. Chae-hung, he's 2-0 in his last 3 games. In 17 innings pitched, he's allowed just 1 run against Hanwha, SK, and LG. The funny thing is, beginning of the season, he was really good. Then he had a slip up in the middle of the season with 2 really bad games. But he got right back in rhythm, right back in sync, and it's performed really well in his last 3 games for Samsung. And then So-Hyung Jun, he was already beat up by Samsung earlier this season. He allowed 7 runs on 8 hits in 4.2 innings. So already beat up, already faced them twice. So Samsung knows what they're going to see out of So-Hyung Jun, who's 4-5 on the season already. So he already has 5 losses on the season. He's also lost his last 4 starts. He's allowing 1.2 homers per 9 innings and striking out just 4.3 batters per 9 innings. I'm all over Samsung at plus money. Again, I've seen it at minus 105 as well. Try to get that plus money. That's pretty special for a guy like Chae-hung who's pitching really well as of late.
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, you know what I'm like with the Lions. I can't trust them. But I tell you what, Annette's saying that the Wyverns minus 1.5. Annette's saying the Eagles are due for a blowout. And then I've got somebody else going, we're going to go with SK minus 1.5. Yes, Dustin Chaffee saying, I'm going to go SK minus 1.5. Now, before we get the KBO rundown, I think now might be a little time to have a little look at the future. So next week, I'm going to have a look at some future prices. Because I think it might be time to press the button on the Bears, and that will give us a bit of value for the rest of the season. Give me your official plays in the KBO, please, Jay.
Yeah, so we got Samsung at plus 102 over the KT Wiz. We'll also look at over 11.5 for the Deuce and Bears and Lati Giants game at minus 115. We'll also have SK at minus 135. Crazy as it sounds, we're taking SK at minus 135.
Yeah, and listen, and I wouldn't put anyone off the minus 1.5. The Eagles, they don't put 2 together, and if they do, I'll see you Monday, and you can all hammer me. Let's move on. Pacific, game 5 of 6 in the NPB, and it's Marines versus the Lions.
Yeah, it's funny. I've kind of seen more value or just better plays in the Pacific today or for tomorrow's games compared to the Central. So I've got all official plays in the Pacific, and I'm not really making any plays in the Central. I'm kind of nervous with these Central games, and already got beat up on a couple of games earlier this morning on back-to-back walk-off homers in the 10th inning, which was really annoying. But one of the games was obviously in the Pacific in the Rakuten game. But we're talking about the Marines and Lions game. I got official play on that one at minus 140 for the Lati Marines. Atsuki Tanichi on the mound for Lati. He's got a 2.37 ERA on the season in 3 games, 19 innings pitched, allowed just 5 earned runs, 15 strikeouts, and just 4 walks with a whip of 1.10 or 1.11 if you round up. He's looked really good. He averages 9.2 strikeouts per 9 innings throughout his career. He went 8-2 last season as well. So 0-1 to start the season, but he was 8-2 last season. So how many losses is he going to get before he gets the win? Probably not too many. But then also Wataru Matsumoto going on the mound for the Cebu Lions. Matsumoto averages 5 walks per 9 innings and has the 5.51 ERA to start the season in 16.1 innings in 3 games. He's allowed 10 earned runs, 14 hits, 3 home runs, and has 9 walks with 10 strikeouts. So he's been having trouble finding the strike zone. Although in his last start, didn't have a walk, which means he's due for a couple walks in this one. So I'd look at the Marines at minus 140 as an official play, but also lean towards over 8.5 in that matchup.
Okay, and lean over 8.5 now. Annette's saying, I hate this league. It's so inconsistent. We know at the moment, and she says, I'm getting beat up. Now, we go by the numbers here. We don't go by it. Nothing's emotional. Nothing's in the heart, apart from with the Bears. But apart from that, we go with the numbers, and you'll be all right at the end of it. And if Jay says that he likes the Pacific, most people in the old white coats will be coming to string him up. So let's go with him. Let's move on with the Hawks and the Eagles, Jay.
Yeah, so again, the Eagles had just 2 hits this morning. We had an official play on them, and they just didn't do anything offensively. They lost the 10th inning on a walk-off homer. Whatever. I think they'll get back on track in this game. Again, we know that they're the best offensive team in the Pacific, and that won't change throughout the season. They're also probably the team to beat in the Pacific throughout the entire season, of course. So I like racking in at -167, but I'd rather go with over the team total at 4.5 at -120. They're going up against Akira Niho of the South Bank Hawks. His 8.74 ERA in 3 games started this season. In those 3 games, he's just went 11.1 innings, 19 hits, 11 earned runs, 7 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So right now, he currently has a 2.29 whip, which is just absolutely horrendous. If he were to perform in 9 innings, he'd be allowing 15.1 innings or 15.1 hits per 9 innings on the season, which is just really bad. And Takayuki Kishi on the mound for the Rakin Eagles. Kishi 126-84 in his career with a 3.02 ERA. Batters are just hitting 211 against him after his first start of the season. He has a career whip of 1.12. Now, I forgot to mention, Niho, the guys are averaging .396 against him, so they're hitting him almost 40% of the time against Niho in those first 3 games. So I'm all over the Rakin Eagles here. I like them over on the team total of 4.5 at -120. But if you want to just take a game, then I would just look at Rakin at -167. And also, I look at the over for 8.5. I think the Eagles could probably hit that on their own in this one.
Nice, and let's go with a -1.5 as well, Jay. You know, you tee it up. I'll just slip in the 1.5 for the Eagles. And the Buffaloes and the Fight as well. The Buffaloes winning throws a lot of cards in the bin.
Yeah, you know, the Buffaloes are down early. They came back and won this one. But yeah, I think the Buffaloes they're that team that they just keep fighting and they're just finding a way to win these games. Like we talked about, they're not nearly as bad as that first series. So I would lean towards Oryx at -132. And I'm going to have an official play on under 7.5 in this matchup. Daiaki Tajima's on the mound. He's got a 2.41 ERA for Oryx in 3 games started this season. In 18.2 innings, allowed just 11 hits, 5 earned runs, has 13 strikeouts, and 4 walks on the season with no home runs. Tajima is 10-7 in the NPB throughout his career, has a 3.61 ERA, and he pitched a ton of strikes in his last outing. So you know he's going to pound that strike zone, not going to walk many guys, and he's going to be able to stay in the game for a longer period of time as long as he's throwing strikes. Then we have Chihiro Kaneko on the mound for the Nipponham Fighters. This is a guy that this will be his first start of the season. He was in relief, already played 7 games this season, 7.2 innings. He's allowed 11 hits, 9 earned runs, 10 runs, 11 strikeouts, and 6 walks with 1 home run. But Kaneko, he's not nearly as bad as his relief stats show. He actually had a 3.04 ERA last season. He just struggled in relief, but I think he'll perform a lot better in the starting role. I like him in this spot. Again, in his career, he's been a lot better in his starting role. So I don't really look at this relief outings and say, yeah, he's been really bad this season. I think he'll perform well in the starter role. So I like under 7.5 at -120 in this one.
So you're going under 7.5?
Yeah.
Under, even though I wrote over. That'd be just completely bonkers. If everyone else is celebrating, I'm there. Didn't listen. Okay, then let's go to the official plays. Then all 3 of them are official. Yeah. So give us them again, please, in case someone wasn't listening.
So we're going to go with over on the team total for the Racket and Eagles at 4.5. The juice at around -120. We'll also look at under 7.5 for the Buffaloes and Nipponham Fighter game, and we'll also look at the Lahti Marines at -140 over the Cebu Lions.
Okay, excellent. Now, I know you haven't got any official plays in the Central Division. It's game 2 of 3, but we're going to talk about them anyway because that might just put someone on the right side. Now we're going to start with the Tigers and the Baystars.
Yeah, so this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. The over-under is 6.5. 6.5. I don't think we've ever seen that before. Again, yeah, we have 2 good pitchers on the mound, of course. We have Yuki Nishi, who has a 2.14 ERA in 3 games started. Then we have Shota Imanaga, 2.84 ERA in 3 games started. Imanaga had a 2.91 ERA last season. He's a high strikeout guy, low walk guy. Then also Nishi had a 2.92 ERA last season. He's a low walk guy as well. Not as high as strikeouts, but much lower in terms of walks. Again, the Baystars are pretty good offensively, and the Hanshin Tigers are starting to come around offensively a little bit as well. So if I see 6.5, I have to go over because you can make a mistake and boom, it goes to 7 runs. So I look at leaning towards over 6.5. That's just a crazy number to me in a baseball game where if one thing goes wrong, it could easily just turn to a 7-run, a 7-run game at least. So yeah, I look at over 6.5 as a lean and Baystars at -116. This game's a toss-up as well. Again, 2 great pitchers on the mound. I think the Baystars, obviously, they've shown that they have better offense compared to the Hanshin Tigers, at least throughout the entire season. Although Hanshin's looked a little bit better as of late, I think that the Baystars have the better offense in the grand scheme of things. So I'd lean towards the Baystars and obviously lean towards over 6.5.
I think on principle, you've got to go over 6.5. I mean, listen, I've seen higher score in hockey matches, ice hockey. What's going on here? 6.5 on principle, we've got to go over. Now the Dragons and the Carp, they were saying it smelt fishy yesterday. Well, they disappointed again.
Yeah, of course, the Carp, again, up 2-1 in the 8th inning. They blow the game. Then they blow the game in the 10th inning, and they lose 3-2 off a walk-off homer. Of course they do. They're the Hiroshima Carp. Whenever I take them, it's a loss. Keep that in mind if I take them again. Might want to fade me, of course. But again, I'd lean towards Hiroshima here at -133. Again, I'm not taking it. They'll probably hit, so take note on that as well. Again, we have Akiyosha Katsuno on the mound for the Dragons. He's a minor league pitcher. He hasn't played in the majors this season. Dakota struggled a little bit late and had he pitched in 9.1 innings in 2 games in the minors, 5 strikeouts, and 3 hits in those 9.1 innings. So apparently the Dragons believe that they have something, there's something in him, a little bit potential there. Had a 2.96 ERA last season, but he struggled a little bit in a couple of those games. And then Katsuno, 2-6 career record in the NPB. So yeah, I would lean towards Hiroshima at -133, and also look at leaning towards over 8. But again, I'm not touching this one.
No, don't blame you. Last game is the Giants and the Swallows, Jay.
Yeah, again, this game was rained out in the morning, so we didn't get to see the first game between these two guys. So yeah, I'm gonna stay away from this game. Angel Sanchez on the mound for the Yomiuri Giants, a 2.63 ERA, allowed 13 hits in 13.2 innings, 4 earned runs, 9 walks, and 4 strikeouts, which is very concerning. But if you look at his numbers last season, he actually pitched for SK in the KBO. He went 17-5 last season and had an ERA really low at 2.62. So he destroyed in the KBO last season with the SK Wyverns, who are pretty pathetic this season. So how much could have really changed with the SK Wyverns from this season to last season? And he went 17-5. So we know his potential. We know what he's capable of. He just hasn't performed the way that we would have liked in the beginning. And then Yasuhiro Ogawa is on the mound for the Swallows. He's 2-0 on the season with a 5.19 ERA, allowed 22 hits in 17.1 innings pitched, 10 earned runs, and 4 home runs in 3 innings, 11 strikeouts, and 4 walks. Ogawa, he went 5-12 last season with a 4.57 ERA, and throughout his career, he's had low strikeouts. So I would easily be on the Giants at -167. I do think Sanchez will return back to his norm, which is being a high strikeout guy and a low walk guy, not a high walk guy and a low strikeout guy. So I think Sanchez will get back to what he did last season in the KBO. I like the Giants here as a lean, -167. You could also even look at -1.5 if you want to get risky. I'd also lean towards over 8.5 in this matchup. I think the Giants will be a little bit better offensively in this one.
Okay, well, you know what the chat's like. They love their banker and they love their parlay. Can you give them a 3-team parlay? I know you're going to say you like them all, but what would be your one banker? And also, are you going to double dip?
I mean, I'm not going to double dip, and I don't have a parlay that I'm going to specifically do. But yeah, I mean, look, right now I'm on Samsung and SK. These are both teams that I'm not normally on, so of course I wouldn't want to parlay that. But right now, Samsung as a road team, they're solid. They're about 500 on the season as a road team. So that's my banker I like Samsung at plus 102. And I really do like SK at minus 135 over Hanwha as well. So both those two plays would be the way to go in the KBO as bunkers.
Okay, that's brilliant, Jay. Now, I hope you've all enjoyed this video as much as I have. Now, please subscribe, press the button, ring the bell. You ring the bell, it means that we can notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And it doesn't mean you'll just miss Jay's. There's loads of other sports. And listen, if you press the link in the description, that'll take you to Jay's articles where he writes different things to what he actually says. He doesn't go against the advice, but he may give you different angles. Now, listen, we'll have a great weekend. Really appreciate everyone on your way out. If you could press your thumbs up, there's 50 watching and only 22 thumbs up. So if you can give Jay that thumbs up, that might just keep him infused to come and join us again on Monday. Great weekend for you, Jay. I'm wishing that for you. Wishing for everyone's in the chat to have winners. And I'll see you all soon. You take care.
Good luck.